My relationship with Pat is I've known Pat for many, many years. I've actually known him for nearly 30 years. I actually understudied Pat Stewart at Stratford. Blake actually understudied Picard, or his name is, which I find fascinating. And when he came to see me in a show in the West End 2 years ago, I said to him, "You prat, why didn't the hell you tell me you were coming?" And he said, "Why?" I said, "Well, we're playing to half-full houses. If we could have actually publicised the fact that Blake Seven and Star Trek are in the same building at the same time, we could have packed the theatre."
But there are not many people who know that you and Stevie Greif shared a dressing room in the Royal Shakespeare Company in Stratford, way back in 1969.
Yeah,
because you were friends
Stevie
then.
and I were in drama school together. In fact, he told me a weird story the other day.
I thought it was a rather nice.
Oh, it's a lovely story, yes. Apparently,
Was he going to wear a leotard?
Sorry?
It's on the tape.
Yes,
Yes,
that's right.
yes.
Well, you don't know yet. You don't know how I've edited my tape.
Oh.
Aha. And I'm not going to tell you, Miss Darrow.
Right.
You're going to have to buy one and find out.
I'll keep quiet.
And over to you, Martin.
Yeah. Right, that's enough of that. Now, back to you. Yes. You're very quiet, Tuddenham. Are you still alive? Oh, you are. That's all right.
Well, it's a funny thing because the last time I attended one of these conventions, I was spouting away, like I'm doing now, like we're all doing, and I said, it was a very, very big hall, and I said, now, can you all hear me at the back? And so one man got up and said, "Yes, I can hear you perfectly well, but I wouldn't mind changing places with somebody who can't."
Have I seen Babylon 5 at all? I have to say that I haven't, but I did meet... Oh, is it good?
Excellent.
Oh.
Is it good?
Right.
But for us, and I'm sure Paul would agree, for us, to a certain extent, watching television is a busman's holiday.
I watch it.
You don't act.
No.
No, yeah, but watching it with you would be awful, because I've watched it with makeup ladies and wardrobe, and they go, "Oh, really? She wouldn't have had her eyelashes like that." Would you mind?
When I worked with Ronnie Barker years and years ago, he said, we finish a sketch out on the studio floor in front of an audience, when we do an audience show. He said, I come backstage and I say to the makeup lady, "How was the show? How was the sketch?" And the makeup lady says, "You look great, your wig stayed on." And then I go into costume and I say, "How was the sketch?" And they say, "Your clothes look great." I go up to the lighting man and I said, "What did you think of it?" And he says, "The lighting was perfect." He said, "None of you ever criticise what I did, because you're all looking at your own little bit. But it's the way you make it. It's the way you make good programmes. Everybody's part of the team, wouldn't you say? And we all work as a team together."
We do, don't we, Martin? Yeah. Now, why did you ask that question then?
The reason is because
Speak up.
at a convention in July, the All 359 Babylon 5 convention was actually out.
I was there.
The creator of Babylon 5, Joe Straczynski's quite a well-known fan of Blake Seven. He's also quite a fan of yours,
Huh?
and he wanted to be in it.
Sorry, who's?
He wants me to be in Babylon 5.
It's all right, Paul, I've told him about it.
Have you? Oh, you got? Oh, you haven't called me yet. Oh, I'd do it.
All this time on the internet, I think, answering questions.
Oh, well, no, I'd love to do it, whatever it's like. You know, I know I met that lovely Yugoslav lady, Mira, who is absolutely delightful. And I met her in the corridor of the hotel we were staying in. She said, "Oh, Paul."
So your room or hers?
Actually, it was the first time hers. And she said, "Paul, how lovely to meet you," and gave me a big kiss. And I thought, "My Jove." And then she said, "And this is my husband." And he came out of the door. So that was all right. And then was Michael, is it Michael O'Hare? Yeah, he was a nice guy, but he was jet lagged. So he didn't speak much. And he said to me,
Michael O'Hare, he's an Irish racing commentator.
"No, that's not the same one." No. He said to me, he said, where do you get all your energy from? What do you want?"
And be honest, could you answer?
No. No, I said, "Have a Prozac." I said,
I don't know if you're aware.
Yes, thank you for that, Martin.
I knew.
"Frighten me to death."
I don't know if you know actually, but the guy who does the special effects on
Babylon 5, Ron Thornton, of course, is the guy who built the Scorpio, the model of the Scorpio. I don't know how many of you know that, but...
Well, they all know.
They will if they're in the garage.
Oh, thanks. You doze off again. Right,
paid extra.
Morning, Peter!
what do you mean paid extra? You paid it all.
Paid us all, no?
No.
Well, people did recognise me when I came in this afternoon. I mean,
I recognised you.
No, well, a young lady just outside the front door here, in pouring rain, was waiting, said, oh, it is Peter Tuddenham, isn't it? I said, yes, that's right. She said, not the son of Mrs. Tuddenham by any chance? I said, yes, I'm the son of Mrs. Tuddenham, but not by any chance. I said, oh.
Dying. That was all of our favourite moments, actually. What was your favourite moment, Peter?
Mine? Well, in the actual show, or my favourite was one of the conventions.
Oh, well, I'd keep quiet about that if I were you. The lady might be here.
No, seriously, we were on an autograph hunt, I was going to say, autograph session in Chicago. And we were all lining up like this afternoon, and this gorgeous girl came past, looked at me, and plopped a bottle of wine down in front of me, and said, oh, Peter, you're so lovely. Come to California with me. The dead silence is absolutely true. But I didn't go. But this is the sort of thing that happened. That was one of my favourite moments.
Did she leave the wine?
Oh, yes.
Oh, that's all right.
She didn't leave herself, though.
Ah,
That's
one thing you should have gone
thing
to
that happens to
Yeah.
whom? It never happens to me.
There we are.
Oh, there you are.
There we are.
Old wine tastes much nicer. Is there going to be a Blake 7 film?
No, the answer is very simple. BBC can't afford it.
Well,
They-
somebody else might do
They
it.
sent Doctor Who to Tenerife. Pardon?
What, France?
Order. No, Wales.
We'd have a Frenchman leading Blake 7 again. We've got a Frenchman on Star Trek. Hello, Blake.
Ah, yes, we're played by an English.
This is Beth Medieval. Bonsoir. Yeah. No, I wouldn't be French. We once talked about what nationality we were, didn't we? I can't remember what you were, because we were from Earth.
Serbo-Croat, I think.
Were you? We decided I was South African. I don't know why. And I don't know, but Gan obviously was from somewhere.
God, they turned his mind off.
No, they haven't. Somewhere out east, wasn't he? And Callie was an alien. Zen was a computer. And Jenna was always late for weddings. Yeah. None of them were hers. No, anyway, never mind. What a boring thing that was. Yes, ma'am. Save me there.
Would you consider perhaps guest starring perhaps just very small role in Peter's production, which is in telephone? Like,
Would we consider appearing perhaps in a small role
Small role.
in Peter's production? Out of the goodness of our hearts. You're asking the wrong person there, dear. Would we consider Peter has appeared in something? Tell us about it, Peter.
Oh, well, I think most of our audience here was there when they saw the trailer of this.
Did you all see the trailer of this?
There we are.
There
Well,
are.
There we are.
All right.
There's nothing I can say really because it's all said there by the one-room production team. It was very, very good. I hadn't seen it before.
And you were in it.
Well, I played Zen and Ulrich, and I also played a cameo role, as they say.
And
Cameo role. And couldn't remember the bloody words.
well, what was the character?
The character, his name was Caftan? No, what's his name? No, Cardan, I think it was.
Captain or Cardigan?
Very,
It
very,
was Road, was
very
it?
good role. Very good
Very good
role.
role, was it?
No, I was happy to do it because I think
They paid you?
I really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and is it good? You
Well,
think it's good?
The bit I saw was extremely good.
Well, would you-
Would you agree? Yeah.
And then you want Gareth to be in it, out of the cloudness of his heart.
It's mentioned enough, actually. As long as Abram's mentioned and actually there, that's about enough, isn't it, really? Outside.
I don't know, it's so horrid to me.
I I thought Zen
Was he ever?
Don't we have a vote?
No, he wasn't. He wasn't. No, the sex symbol of the series was supposed to be Michael Keating. And he will tell you he was. So there you are. Wasn't it? Villa was the one that used to call all the girls. Actually, he did.
One was supposed to be the sex symbol. People always love villains.
I wasn't a villain. Travis was the villain. I was the nice boy.
Travis was just misguided.
I was your friend. I was the only friend you had in the universe. Well, I shot him, yeah. So, bloody right. Going off to Stratford and leaving me with that lot.
To play a lover, that was the great thing.
No, we didn't see much in the way of models. It would have been interesting. I know somebody, George, I think, made a little model of Aurak, which got pinched.
It's because you got it.
Did you?
You
Worth
pinched
a
it.
fortune.
Blake 7 could not have been made at all if we didn't actually have got on terribly well together. It's extraordinary. This is the first time Paul and I have been to convention together virtually in Britain, I think. Apart from one occasion when I was ill, but there you go.
Ill? You were pissed.
I was popping tablets, not Prozac. Didn't have Prozac in those days. I was actually ill. I mean, yes, I had a few drinks, but I was taking pills as well. I shouldn't have done both. A bit late to find out.
There's a warning.
Yes, there is a warning, actually, seriously.
Seriously.
And I haven't done it since. I've tried. No, seriously, Blake 7 couldn't have been made if we hadn't actually got on all very, very, very well indeed. And if we went to do a stage show, yes, it'd be great. But can you find a stage show, a good stage show, which actually has that same thing of, what, 5 men, 2 women?
I talked about this to Terry, actually, when we saw
for God's sake.
Phantom of the Opera in New York. I said, you could do a musical of Blake 7.
With David Gann
Jackson.
David Gann Jackson, if I may interrupt for us half a second. Do you know David has a lovely voice? He does a lot of musicals. He was actually in the original Phantom of the Opera, playing the father.
You could have, at the end of Act 1, the Liberator could crash into the auditorium. It'd be wonderful. And you could use old songs like Gann could sing, I'm limited in the brain. Stuff like that.
Paul Darrow could sing, I talked to the tree, came and took me away.
You could do quite a good show.
I don't know what the hell Aurak would sing, I'm sure.
Well, we thought Aurak was Dean Martin because he was always drunk.
Oh, really? Oh.
Yeah.
It's back to the...
You sound ready, Bobby.
It was very good music.
Did a little wine drink of me.
I wonder if they did Blake 7 now. This is an interesting question, I think, and as you're not asking anything, I will. Who do you think you would cast now?
Me? Who else?
No, I mean, in Blake 7, assuming it had never been done, and was going to be done now, who would you cast in it now? Or even if you were going to do it again, say, or a slightly different version, but obviously well, I suppose I would be in it. But the rest are really too old. No, we really are, in all honesty, even I'm prepared to admit it, a tad over age for the part, and I could run up and down hills again. What have you cast? Is there anybody on television or movies that you cast? Sir?
Alan Rickman.
As what?
Yeah.
Avon.
As Avon? Oh, right. Alan Rickman as Avon, right, that's one.
Julian
To be
Clary.
fair, quite...
Yes. Julian Clary. What part?
Not say.
Oh, he's playing Avon as well, is he? Oh, right. Oh, dear, I don't know. Oh, we can't have Alan Rickman and Julian.
You'll do Donald Cinders, please.
Donald Simpson, yes. No, he's too old. It'd have to be someone younger.
Oh, younger.
What do you mean?
Prince Charles.
I think we'll go to this other planet over here.
He is, I think, anyway.
We'd have to change Jenna to
Dainty Di
Diana.
as Jenna, wouldn't he?
Yes, it'd be wonderful,
that would be
wouldn't
very
it?
well, wouldn't it?
Oh, really? I don't
Yes.
really want to go there anymore. And Fergie as
Screaming.
Callie. Yes, you're very good, wouldn't it? Yes.
So Somebody was screaming about, insulting me, I think, over there, or something. No.
No? So we've only cast Avon so far. Sharon Stone is Jenna.
No,
Oh, Sharon Stone, yeah, she'd be good. We're getting very upmarket here. Is it going to cost a few bob?
Who's Sutherland?
Michael Jackson.
That's good.
Yes.
This is going to cost a lot of money.
Sutherland, I need one better suggestion than that.
David.
No, Paul Darrow.
No, well, I'm not going to be in it. Who's going to play?
Sorry, I'm not here.
Who's going to play Blake?
Anybody.
Who?
Stephen Pacey.
Stephen Pacey. Yes, he's young enough. Oh, I think it
We
would
need
be.
charisma now.
Oh, but Danny DeVito turned it down, didn't he? Our convention's getting better or worse. Is there ever a time that we are likely to feel unhappy coming to conventions? Well, Peter, I think you ought to answer that one.
Why?
Well, it could be the last opportunity.
Right, sure. It will do. I'd be all right here. Flying is about 84, I think. No, seriously, we love coming to conventions, don't we, boys? Eh?
Yes.
To meet all you lovely people. I mean, everyone's different, and thank goodness. And, you know, new people.
I'm glad you still can tell. I mean, yeah.
New people come all the time because they've got the videos and everything. No, it's great fun. Great fun. Broadens the outlook.
It's possible, I suppose, that if it was really boring.
Well, yes, I do think that there is an element of, for instance, we're sitting here now, we're saying any questions. One of the reasons, I think, unless you're a bunch of wallies, one of the reasons, seriously, why not that many questions, they've all been asked. It's 20 years ago, we've answered the questions. We've answered just about everything we can. We'll have a go again, but there you go. And there must be a time, yes, when it might run out a bit.
And then we can talk about something else.
Yeah, we can talk about real things.
Sex.
But you know,
Let's talk about sex.
there must be a point. I mean, I've come here, it's my first British convention for 4 years, I think. And there are a lot of faces I know, and a lot of people that know me. And that's great, but we've done it, we've been there, got the t-shirt. Where do we go? Do we then turn around and say, fine, we actually now become personalities or whatever, and actually talk about our private lives or personal lives or our beliefs or whatever? We don't necessarily talk about Blake Seven anymore, because we've covered it. There's not a lot more we can talk about.
Well, we talk about other things, and you've seen this.
Yeah, you know what I mean? I'm just saying, so the convention life, I would imagine, does have a limit other than, I think there will come a stage whereby all of you, hopefully, will come to convention in another 5 years' time, where all we will do is say, hi, great to see you again, lovely, let's go have a drink, or let's chat, whatever, you know. But it's nothing to do with Blake Seven anymore.
But it's also, you do get a different slant, don't you, when you have other people.
Yeah.
Like we have Martin with us.
Who?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry.
Anyway, so you get a different attitude towards Blake Seven in a way. Okay, Martin, fine. So you're being here is not in vain. Right, that's that. Now,
What are you all doing next?
what are we all doing next? Well, I know what Gareth's doing next. So,
I sat there for an autograph session, which I always enjoy. But I didn't get any bloody lunch. Paul went off for lunch. What do you mean lunch?
it's Sunday.
There's a queue of
Sunday
people
lunch.
there. You can't go off for lunch.
I went to the auction.
And then, of course, I realised that nobody wanted to know anyway. Sorry?
I went to the auction.
Oh, first. Yeah, first.
Well, I
I
went
went a chance for lunch.
somebody actually complained about you. They said Gareth's late for the autograph signing, and I said, well, you should learn by now that you hold the autograph signing in the bar. By God, yeah, it's not a bad idea. Think of the drinks you
I've
get.
been saying it for years.
That isn't a bad idea, actually.
It's a very good idea. And no, I tell you what, we could stick tethers between those two things that stick up there. You'd be all right. You're stuck in there.
I think they're all right to come and see. It doesn't matter what we talk about, and whatever we say, it gives us an insight into our personalities anyway. You know, to have Blake Seven in this context. But I mean, Blake Seven questions come along variably, and it's nice just to chat. I would think. Is that right? Yeah.
I think the thing I like about it is the fact that I didn't know you people a short while ago, and now I feel I know an awful lot of people, and I think that's a lot to do with fandom, isn't it? When we started the show, we had no idea it was going to go this far on. And no matter how much we joke about it, it was a good time when we were making it.
Oh, yeah.
It was a really good
It was
time.
fun.
And the fact that people are still together, and we still meet up now and then, maybe once a year, maybe twice. But the friendship is still there amongst all of us. And now it's extended into fandom, and the friendship within the fandom.
Yes, I would like
I know
to
that
think,
sounds terribly sort of
no,
pious.
I would
but
like to think
they're
we
not
stopped
friends.
being Blake 7
Yeah.
and become Gareth and Paul and Peter and
Yes.
Martin and Sheelagh, largely.
Yes, because I get Christmas cards from people, and they don't sign, I am a fan, and then their name. They sign their name, and I know who they are.
Yeah.
And if I sent a Christmas card to them, I wouldn't sign Sheelagh Wells, I'd sign Sheelagh. It's changed. It's not fandom and actors and crew anymore. It's people who know and like one another
It's
and meet
actually-
up to have a good time.
That's actually a very interesting point. There are a lot of times now, as an autograph session, where I don't want to put Thomas,
Yeah. Well,
Quite a
quite a
sign
few of you
Gareth.
got my name
Yeah.
just signed to Sheelagh because I feel the
because
same. I just
we know each other.
Yeah.
I'd like to think so, anyway, to a certain extent.
Is this
Why?
situation
Surely
unique?
some poor kid's gone home. Bloody hell's going on?
The children I signed Paul Dunn.
But only Oriental children.
It is fun. A convention is very hard work. Work is the wrong word, but you know what I mean. It's enormous fun, but it's deeply, deeply tiring. And it's tiring because we have to be, have is the wrong word. We want to be totally, utterly available to everybody who's come here.
Anyway, Martin, you wanted to say something.
316. Well, that's you, isn't it? Sorry.
I moved.
Oh, you moved. No, but seriously, we're here to say thank you. And so it is time because we have to be here 24 hours a day.
But American conventions are generally bigger and much more intensely organised, so that you have someone who looks after you all the time, very kindly. It's regarded as a privilege. I don't know why. It must be a rotten job. Rushing off to the bar every now and again, you know, for somebody's drink, whoever that might be. And so on, cigarettes for me, and so on. And sometimes you don't get time to do anything because we meet, don't we? Chris Potter, for example, I work with over there. He was in Kung Fu. And I met Chris for about an hour or so. He was a really nice guy. We were getting on very well. We never met again until right at the end. Well, we would pass in the corridor when he was being led to one panel and I was going to another. He did pass me once and go, nice jacket. And I said, yours for $500. And so on. And that's all the conversation we had. And it was very intense. And he suddenly said, we're going to have 10 minutes here. Why? What do you want 10 minutes for? And I said, well, I kind of like to go to the jar. You want to go to the jar? That's not scheduled. You get that a bit. But
I love this, you know, we go across to American conventions and Paul gets his schedule and last one Paul and I went to, Brian Blessed, and he got his schedule and I got my schedule and I said, okay, fine, I've seen Paul's schedule and it says we're doing a panel with, my schedule just said bar. I said, thank you. Does that mean I'm doing nothing else? They said, no, you're doing lots of things, but we know you're in the bar. They haven't learned that over here yet.
There was one that I did with Stephen Pacey, and there were so many guests there, Doctor Who guests. Tom Baker was there, you may have heard of him. So on and so on. And they were so busy looking after Tom and so on, working out the schedule, that they missed Stephen and myself for 2 evenings. And so we went into Chicago and had dinner and had a really nice time. And I got really furious. I said, what the hell were you? You know, I mean, you went to the cabaret. What have you been asked us to do? The cabaret is forgotten. They haven't forgotten since. But we had quite a nice time. Tom didn't come to dinner.
Hey, come on! Ken Gods of the science fiction world, get on!
It's the Brian Blessed of Ashford, isn't it?
Cheerio, everybody. Wonderful time.
Yes, it was
All the
absolutely
best.
super.